Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Why, hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. This was our Patreon exclusive today.
Uh, it, yeah, it's a good one. Sorry, it's a good one.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat around it. Avoid eating around it. Let's just say that. Yeah.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you can join the Patreon family as little as $1 a month. There are different tiers with different benefits. Now, checking the news, we see 4 U.S. soldiers found dead near Belarus border in a mystery tragedy. The soldiers were in Lithuania undertaking training exercises, and they went missing during the training exercises. And then, again, found dead near the border. That sounds incredibly suspicious, to say the least.
That sounds really, really bad. I hope there's more to look into that. It really feels like it's what I'm getting is it's a very high-ranking operation, though.
Is it a setup? I mean, I feel like a setup of some sorts.
Yeah, I mean, it's on a very high level. So yeah, it's like they were used as something else.
Is it perhaps to provoke a response and create an incident that could be used to inflame the area?
It's very dark. The motive behind it is very dark, and it's highly organized. So those who are, those who we see that are in control, it's probably even above them.
Oh, okay. So this is definitely something to watch. And then you have a massive U.S. buildup going on. As you see here, U.S. massing B-2 Spirit bombers in Diego Garcia. This is in the Indian Ocean. That would be a location that you could strike certainly Iran from, perhaps even over into the Pacific and the China theater. So it's a significant force of B-2 Spirit stealth bombers currently wending its way to the Indian Ocean island of Diego Garcia. Satellite imagery shows at least 3 C-17 cargo planes and 10 air refueling tankers forward deployed in the last 48 hours to the highly strategic British territory, which has been used as a staging point for U.S. strikes in the Middle East on multiple occasions in the past. Buildup comes amid a surge in U.S. strikes targeting the Houthis and growing warnings to Iran from the Trump administration and also that Middle Eastern nation that shall remain nameless, but you guys know, 1948. This is not a good sign. Everything does point towards April being a very, very potentially busy month as far as geopolitical. Pentagon has confirmed that Iran might have weapons of the future. This is not a conspiracy theory or science fiction. The Pentagon press secretary admitted the U.S. does not deny that Iran has plasma weapons. And of course, they've talked about the end stuff and not allowing them, although that country that shall remain nameless has something called the Samson option, in which they would use that very thing. And again, there's still ongoing tensions over there in the Middle East.
Well, there are, and I do believe that they have what we would probably perceive as like a mothership, a very large ship where they can, in fact, charge certain drones. So I do think that they have a lot to do with things that are going on around here. And again, I mean, it's known at certain levels what these beings are doing. These are black ops, and they are taking out their technology. They're showing it off. They're saying, oh, this technology belongs to so-and-so, and this to so-and-so, and this to so-and-so. I think that's just for, that's for looks, to assign the technologies to who. It's more of a game of, the gods are having a great war and they're showing off their toys and delegating who is going to be in charge of these new toys. So I don't know. I don't like it.
When I think of space-based plasma weapons, and even, also land-based, but especially it makes me think of space-based plasma weapons, a hot topic that's always trying to be debunked is the melted building theory. And as you see, melted buildings conspiracy theory debunked. 2.3 million views 3 years ago. Well, because it got 2.3 million views, it's obviously something that they want to get out there, that the power structure wants to get out there. As you see, here's another one, 838 views. So if you debunk it, then obviously they're going to help you with getting your video out there. A lot of people have looked at different structures and said, are these melted buildings? And, what really is the case? There's so many different people that have talked about this. Our melted reality. Melted old buildings. Well, wouldn't plasma weaponry do something like that? Just saying.
I would think so, yep.
Meanwhile, Speaker Mike Johnson floats eliminating federal courts as GOP ramps up attacks on judges. This is again coming from NBC News, MSNBC. Did you know that 1/3 of D.C. district judges were not born in the U.S. and also had no prior judicial experience when appointed? Wait a minute, you're saying you're putting judges on a very high pedestal, and they're not even judges. They had no experience in judging. Well, again, they don't want a nation of thinkers. This is to, quote that Rockefeller guy. We don't need a nation of thinkers. We just need a nation of workers, those to carry out the orders, or act, just like, the puppet we see over in Ukraine. They're all actors. Ronald Reagan was an actor. Remember Bedtime for Bonzo? Wow. Yeah, that was a biggie. Meanwhile, the U.S. Treasury could default as early as August. Now, this hits me too because the Polish psychic Krzysztof Jakowski, he has gotten the 8th month is when the big economic problems come. He does see a smaller blip before that may very well be April, May. But then he said the 8th month, which he's taking as August. But then I got to wonder, 8 oct, OCT, October it literally is again a prefix that means 8. So, because July and August were inserted and October was the 8th month at one time. So somewhere in between August and October, we certainly could have just an economic meltdown like we've never seen before. So again, try to be prepared, have, food storage, water storage, all basic needs covered as best you can, because it might be a bumpy road. And I do think that we will be finding people not being able to access their funds if the funds are in a regular bank.
Yeah, I mean, diversify. That's what I think people should do. I'm not a financial advisor in any stretch of the imagination, but that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, we are not financial advisors at all. And, again, when I say that, I mean, just, again, have food storage. If you are able to, have your own fresh eggs, that's a wonderful thing. Make sure you know where they're coming from and what's happened to them along the way, or to those that laid the eggs along the way. Again, that's on that Patreon exclusive. Everything is based on an agreed upon illusion. So it's when, the illusion is no longer agreed upon that the whole house of cards will collapse. So, when will that happen? Again, they say here, the Treasury's resources could be exhausted late May or in June, or possibly again by August. I think 2025 is the year. This is my hunch that it's the year we see the big one, the big collapse. And Trump signs orders seeking to overhaul U.S. elections, actually requiring things like proof of citizenship and actual paper ballots. Wow. Imagine that.
Impressive. Wow, paper ballots fit like physical ones, huh?
Mm-hmm. I remember incident with hanging chads in Florida way back. Yeah, when the neocons took over. So, again, what we need is more than just a little overhaul of the system. It's the entirety of the system. We need to think beyond the box, and people have not been conditioned to think beyond the box. That's the reality. Meanwhile, J.D. Vance is going to Greenland along with his wife on Friday. Will he come back with Greenland in his back pocket? Well, we shall see.
We shall see.
Oh, Hyundai announces 21 billion U.S. investment as Trump tariffs loom. South Korean car maker plans to create 14,000 full-time jobs and expand links with U.S. firms on tech, including AI. They're planning to put in Louisiana a Hyundai steel plant. This is part of the investment, $5.8 billion Hyundai steel plant in Louisiana that's going to produce more than 2.7 million metric tons of steel annually and create more than 1,400 jobs. Steel plants expected to supply steel to the auto plants in Alabama and Georgia.
Well, I mean, this feels like good news. It feels like happy news. I mean, the guy looks happy. He's signing the paper. He's got a big smile on his face. Whenever we can support our families, is it the kind of thing that we want? That then I think, well, that's good that people are going to be able to go to work, but then what kind of pollution are we looking at? I don't know. This is a very difficult world to live in right now.
Well, it is. And again, thinking out of the box and beyond even gas and oil tech, again, solar is not the answer. And everything that we have right now is not really the answer. The answer lies in stuff that there is patents for. Free energy is not some, vague mystical thing that is not a real possibility. It is a real possibility, but it just eliminates so much of the power structure on the planet. A lot of things are hidden in plain sight, and sometimes we could see right through things. Other times they just kind of are mystifying.
Yeah, I mean, this poor guy is just stumped. Where did this thing come from? And it's invading my space. Oh my gosh, that poor kitty.
The look on his face.
Get out of my space.
As always, guys, look forward to your comments. Please do make sure you're still subscribed. Please do share these videos and come join us over on Patreon. Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.